Yeah. 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 Yo, it's a hustler's anthem. We answer the call. What you need, what you got, they call me white bread Escobar. Walking in the town, they praise my name. Kiss the ground, I walk, feel no shame. And oasis in the alley, drink from my stream. Once you sip from what I got, you'll never thirst again. He strides tall, balls against the wall. A force to be reckoned with, a jewel in the night. Serve him wrong, man, that's a big mistake. He'll haunt your dreams, leave your soul burnt. Face down in a lake. Listen close, haters, take this wisdom to your dome. Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Just hate the fact that you can't play the game. You thought you were a boss, thought you were the king, till you stepped in my ring and felt my sting. I'm the real deal, why you just a facade in this concrete jungle? I'm the one that's got bitches saying, oh my God. He strides tall, balls against the wall. A force to be reckoned with, a jewel in the night. Serve him wrong, man, that's a big mistake. He'll haunt your dreams, leave your ass dead. Face down in a lake. Yo, don't be mad, just face the truth. You learned you're a spud, but I'm the one with the juice. Call me white bread Escobar, handle so tight. Serving you that dick dope, make your toes curl nice. So if you got an itch, need that ice so pure, just holler for Escobar, that cracker in the night for sure. I serve it straight, as long as you come correct. But act the fool and I'll show you the certain depth in this game of life. I'm the one with the aim, step into my world and you'll never be the same.
I struggle hard to hold on to my faith, but it is much more difficult than people realize. Man suffers hard times and often blame unanswered prayers or God's absence for the impact of tragedy that befalls them. I am not one of those. Mine is a more personal issue. It's not the fact that God wasn't there. It's the fact that He was all these things I have suffered. I was not meant to experience because my time had come, and I died an innocent child who knew nothing of the struggles against sin and the promise of salvation. The risen Spirit of Jesus appeared to me, taking me away from the cherubs who soothed me and comforted my pain, telling me I was going someplace safe from all my struggles and pain here. I was taken from that blissful peace and told I must return because I wasn't dead. After evaluating the experience of others and compared to my own, I see this repeating trend that I assume are the angels deciding where you should go and what should be done. One person described an experience where they had ended up in the place of limbo, the dreamless sleep. They knew they were somewhere and described a resemblance of consciousness enough to know they were somewhere they didn't think they deserved to be. However, they had died from an overdose and been such a danger to their life that their decision had gotten them killed for selfish reasons. They thought they should be in heaven, but because of their actions, they weren't. Then they were sent back, sitting up suddenly off the floor and given a second chance to change the fate they were given at the time. Another person had described their death having come quickly and rising in spirit above his body, as he watched the man who discovered his body rush to save him and suddenly sucked back into his body. I myself have experienced multiple near-death experiences. One where I saw this being who appears from a sliver of light just behind you on the edge of your vision. He appeared in the form of my ancestors' beliefs, which I was leaning stronger towards believing to be true at the time. He appeared as Odin and said he had heard I was having difficulty crossing over to find peace, so he had come to personally escort me to Valhalla. Now what happened next here, I must apologize for first, and I hope he understands that my grief because of this issue is extreme, so extreme that it became the core reason behind Lucifer's mistrust towards God, and the reason he would often be the one angel who did not partake in praise or exalting God within the choirs of heaven. My reaction was based on an accumulation of these types of events that peaked into a feeling of betrayal for the path my life had been led down, and that one fact of it all being something I was not meant to experience. Because when my time came the first time, I was innocent. In a fit of anger, I backhanded Odin for everything I had been through. Of course, it passed right through him, but I could feel the temperature difference when it passed through him. Then,
I died. For 5 minutes, my ex-wife said I didn't move or breathe. Then I suddenly shot up, gasping for breath, cursing at Michael for tossing me back out, telling me, "This time, stay out." So what is my conclusion based on the gathered experiences I've had with near-death events? 1. That when we die, the experiences we have is the angel's judgment of what to do with us until the day of the final judgment. What we experience and where we go at first is the destination. Our lives and deeds are deemed to be our destination. Some fall into the bottomless pit, some experience being taken up into heaven. Then sometimes there is a deviation to that journey, where we are taken somewhere else because of the events surrounding our death, such as an innocent child's naive understanding between good and evil, or a selfish death by suicide or something similar that leads them to be in limbo until the day of judgment. Sometimes we are sent back on purpose by these judgment angels who decide where we go to await judgment day. If so, then one thing should be understood. If we are sent back, then we have been given a chance to change being sent to that place we saw, which means no one can be condemned beforehand. For each day of our life can alter that decision.
However, this also brings into question what I saw in hell, or the place of punishment, and specifically one place I saw that was prepared for an individual that hadn't even been born yet at that time. In this experience, I saw a place prepared for someone whose deeds were displayed in ways they couldn't deny nor ignore, and everything that happened had a point that was centered around what they did and the consequences for it. The scene was in an office that was like a maze and they can't escape from. In the office room they sat in, you could hear the crying of an infant. But when you tried to find where it was coming from, you realized it coming from inside the concrete wall. Eventually, the person would reach out to try and help the crying infant, and would then be pulled inside the wall, revealing it was wet cement, and it would then quick dry, sealing them inside. I could see an image of the person this place was prepared for, and later realized once I met them, this place was for my stepson. When I heard why they were sent to us by their adopted parents, it was then that I was sure of it. Supposedly recently, while in and out of mental facilities, they had done something that endangered their infant brother, possibly even having thrown them at the wall. Of course, our stepson said they threw something at him that missed and hit the wall. But still, it endangered him nonetheless. And you see the association now to their place. I saw some 25 to 30 years before ever meeting them when I was just a child. So if our lives truly have free will and the choice we make can decide whether we are saved or condemned, then why was this child's hell decided for things he had not yet done, or could it ever have been avoided? The answer to this could upset the very foundation of faith and eternal salvation. Speaking on this subject of eternal salvation, who was the Messiah in heaven before coming to earth and made into the flesh as man, the texts refer to him as the Word, which would have been the creator vessel of God through which he brought forth the light into existence through. However, the plan was that the Word dwelled within him for a heavenly purpose not meant for man to understand. The Messiah, or the purpose for which God's Son was sent to fulfill the promise made to Abraham 4,000 years before he was born, had to do with other matters, not associated to the role of the Word. To fulfill that purpose, the Word had no need to interact at all through or with the Son while he walked the earth. The Word only needed him to die when and where he was meant to, and became the reason why he had to die upon the cross, which he knew he could not avoid, no matter how much his friends begged him. Anyone who sought to stop this from occurring were enemies of his Father's kingdom, because it had to do with the trap they had set in place, in which the Son coming to earth in the flesh as man was the solution for that trap they had set in place. That's all that can be said on that. His role as the Messiah, though, had to do with who the Son was in heaven before the time of the Messiah. He was present during the time of Exodus, during the time of the 10 plagues upon Egypt. The plagues were delivered and carried out by angels, just as the creeping death that took the firstborn of Egypt. Those who had the lamb's blood upon their doors, the angel of death would pass by.
Unknowingly, though, there was an angel who defended those whose doors had the Lamb's blood on. And that angel was the Son in heaven before he became the Messiah. The Hebrews had asked for someone to save those who had fallen into Sheol, or the place of punishment. So God sent the one who saved them from the angel of death, which they celebrated in their belief of the Passover. And so as it is said, by the blood of the Lamb sacrificed upon the altar of the world, shall cleanse us of our trespasses against God and make clean the path to his Father's kingdom. Now that is my understanding of this, of course, and I shall seek out the risen spirit of my Son to try and confirm this. As I see now that obstacles and support have both been laid in my path even before I set upon this task, which means I'm on a path towards uncovering a hidden truth that someone thinks should not be known. Why else would they put so much effort into standing in my way unless it threatens their control over people's belief? And I also see there is no regard to whether it is true or not that matters to them, only protecting the belief that they support. Corruption in the heavens.